I'm CJ with Stutter Builds, and today I'm going to show you how to build this really cool DIY live edge pet feeding station on Starter Builds. Alright, so for those of you who've been following the channel for quite some time, I have a boxer dog named Millie. Check her out right here if you haven't seen her. She's super wild, super crazy, and loves to eat out of this plastic bowl carrier thing, and I thought, what the heck, she deserves it. Let's build her something nicer. I've had this piece of walnut laying around for quite some time, and I think it'd be the perfect piece to replicate this. So I'm going to be doing that with this piece of walnut. Let's dive into the build. Alright, to start out, I'm going to be just placing this on top, tracing this around, cutting it out. Should be super DIY friendly. As far as the legs, I don't know what I'm going to use to build those just yet. I have some scrap wood laying around, so let's start by tracing this. Probably didn't. I did. Haha. So we have been working on this DIY dog bowl project. We have cut out our cylinders or circles or whatever you want, circles for where they'll be mounted in. I have this spare cut off over here of walnut that I'm going to be using to probably make the legs here. So I'm going to rip some strips down and we'll get those attached with some wood glue and some screws. So up next, we're going to rip this down. Hopefully my table saw can handle this. This is about a 2.5 inch thick piece of walnut cut off. So let's see if we can rip that down and create some legs here. But so far this is looking great. I think Millie's really going to enjoy it. Stay tuned. Did you ever have one of those projects where you're kind of just winging it as you go? This is definitely one of those projects. Obviously, you can get inspiration from things on Pinterest, social media, other sources. But I'm trying to work on this base now, and I have limited amounts of hardwood in the walnut that's matching somewhat the grain pattern. As you can see, this is a little bit lighter of the edge there. But this right now is what I'm thinking in terms of my base. The actual height of the one that Millie uses now is 7.5 inches. This itself is 2 inches. This right now is sitting 2 inches. So I'm thinking about using these cross supports with the horizontals there, and then putting this in here at 3 inches. That'd be directly screwed into there. So I'm gonna wing it and see how it looks. I wanted to keep the walnut for the legs for the base. So let's just tackle this and see what it looks like at the end. So we have our base built. It is actually drying right now. The glue is getting set. And we have our top. Our top is sanded all the way to 220. So once this glue dries, I'm going to attach it with 4 pocket hole screws, probably 1 inch or 1 1/4. And then we'll go ahead and put some finish on this, and we'll see how Mildred likes it. After all that trouble, you'll turn out with something like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we're in focus. We have completed the dog bowl stand, the DIY live edge dog bowl stand. So now we're gonna go ahead and put some finish on this. Don't mind the bucket hat, I randomly found this in my attic, so I'm wearing it today. This was super DIY friendly, and if you haven't worked with hardwoods before, highly recommend looking on Facebook Marketplace for someone local to you that is getting rid of some walnut or hardwood, oak, cherry, maple. Start by making some cutting boards. Start by making a dog bowl stand. Again, I don't really love this base, but we were working on limited budget. I didn't spend any money on this project, which is a win. So now we're gonna be putting some of this Danish oil on there. As far as the state, I had this laying around. I've used on other hardwood projects. It turns out great. But first we gotta wipe down all the dust on this, and then we'll start applying it. Rag, and just get in all the crevices. Make sure we're wiping everything down good. As you can see, it's pulling up some fibers. So. All right, I'm gonna start with the base and then work my way towards the top. So what we'll do is we'll give this a little shake. I'm not gonna lie, the cap is always the hardest to get off. And then it says on the instructions to flood surface, allow to penetrate for 15 minutes, and then wipe off the excess. Whoa! Don't do what I just did and pour it everywhere like that, but we're going to flood the surface, getting in all the nooks and crannies. I'm actually gonna wipe some of that off. Make sure I don't spill that on there. Essentially, I just got my rag super wet with the Danish oil, and now I'm just wiping it in on every part of the base. So every nook and cranny and everything, as you can see here. Flip it up for you guys. Probably need some more on here. This walnut just soaks it in. It really does soak it in. So I'm just pouring it on there, and I'm just applying it heavy, yo. Heavy. And I just dumped it on my table. Don't do what I just did like that. And dump it on your table. Here goes for the top. Woo-wee. That looks good. In case you're wondering, I just dumped it all over my table. You probably saw it on the camera. Like a big doofus. Sometimes when you're woodworking, you're in the zone and you're just not really paying attention, which is not good from a safety hazard, but it's okay. As long as you keep all your limbs, you'll be okay. You'll be okay, man. Again, I don't give out safety advice, so you're doing everything at your own risk when you're watching my channel. So it's called Starter Builds. Now this end grain loves to eat up the oil, so make sure you soak it all in there. You can already see the color change so far. It looks great. I almost knocked that over again. Can you believe that? Would you believe that? Probably should have done these separately and then attached them, but hey, that's okay. That's okay. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. Ooh, that looks nice.